Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, invited guests, dignitaries, and all the participants. We have gathered here for the first technical session of ongoing national conference on development in engineering education and practices, that is DEEP 2022, hosted by Elitte College of Engineering. Technical session 1 is on engineering and education and is going to be moderated by me, Professor Dipusri Saha, and Dr. Abhijit Chakraborty is the web host of current session. Professor Dr. Krishna Hazra, HOD of Mechanical Engineering Department, is the chairperson of the 2022 and also the session chair of this session. Honorable judges are Dr. Shubhashish Banerjee, ex-principal of Elitte College of Engineering, and Dr. Ashwini Kumar Sharma, former Dean, Adamas University. In this session, we have also a keynote lecture by renowned Professor Somendranath Basu and Professor Shivdas Bhattacharya on technical education in India, present status and quality assurance. Before Professor S.N. Basu start his session, let me introduce him in this platform. Professor Somendranath Basu is presently working as Executive Director, Technic Polytechnic Institute, Hubli, and he was associated with the technical education in the state for a long time. He has completed his bachelor degree in mechanical engineering from Jadavpur University and received Bachelor of Education Technical from the Calcutta University. He has about 40 years of teaching and administrative experience as principal. He is the former Additional Director, Directorate of Technical Education and Training, Government of West Bengal. He was deputed to Australia under World Bank assisted projects. Now, Professor Shivdas Bhattacharya, lecturer of Computer Science and Technology at Technic Polytechnic Institute, Hubli, West Bengal. He has completed his bachelor degree from West Bengal University of Technology and received master degree from IIT ISM Dhanbad. He has 7 years of teaching experience and 2 years experience in consultancy work. He is also an entrepreneur and machine learning developer. Once again, I welcome you all to this technical session, and I would like to request the audience to put your queries or views in the chat box, or it will be, or they can ask directly by raising their hands. It will be clarified at the end of this lecture. I feel privileged to invite Professor S.N. Basu to kindly start the keynote presentation. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Good afternoon to all present here, my dear colleagues and students. Today, our topic for discussion on technical education, present status and quality assurance. This quality term is very much important. The concept of quality assurance system of technical education has become more significant and challenging for both academics and industries. That all we know this. All engineering colleges and polytechnics must define their vision, mission, and quality policy and articulate clear strategic goals to achieve the quality standards. Now, we know National Board of Accreditation is the only authorized body in India entrusted with the task of undertaking accreditation of technical education programs to assess the qualitative competence of the programs offered by the educational institutions. This should be according to the specified norms and standards as recommended by All India Council for Technical Education. In my view, the accreditation status of an institution is a key indicator that reflects upon its overall quality and reputation. The accreditation is very important actually for engineering institutes, accreditation is very important. Now, quality in education is a continuous and cyclic process that we know. If an institution improves its quality standards, the educational outcomes become better, and this further translates into an improvement of future students' intake. This also has a bearing on resource generation from project and funding agencies, etc. The NBA accreditation allows the institutions to overcome the teaching learning gaps and develop methods that maximize the student learning outcome. The 21st century education, that is outcome-based education, we have already heard that outcome-based academic approach to map and measure student progress at each step of their journey. The outcome-based education comprises of mainly four major components, that is curriculum design, teaching and learning methods, assessment, and continual quality improvement and monitoring. Now, accreditation gives us assurance that the program run by the institute meets the quality standard against well-defined criteria standardized by an accreditation agency. That is, in our case, it is the National Board of Accreditation. Now, accreditation is a process of quality assurance and improvement. It is the basic minimum standards of technical education to meet the industry demand for quality manpower. The development of an appropriate curriculum, qualified faculty, upgrading the standards of workshop and laboratories, research and development, enhancing industrial collaboration are some of the main components of quality assurance. Focusing on the technical education scenario in India, there has been considerable expansion of technical education in the country, which has resulted in the abrupt deterioration of quality standards. This has greatly affected the employment of graduates coming out from the institutes. A good percentage of students are unable to find suitable employment. Now, technical education is one of the important areas that has to be play a significant role in building a strong, technically qualified workforce in the country. Despite the increase in numbers of universities, colleges, and student enrollments, the technical education sector of the country has not been able to yield the desired results. The teaching learning focuses more attention on theory subjects rather than developing professional skills of our students, such as creative thinking, self-study, problem-solving skills, interpersonal and communication skills. As we have seen that majority of students are still not proficient in making use of computers for various engineering applications. Also, there is marginal linkage of technical institutions with the industries. There must be strong industry institute interaction cell in every institute. That I think. It is observed that despite the increase in number of educational institutions, as also in the number of enrollments in technical education programs, including degree and diploma in the country, there are problems of unemployment. Now, this much I want to speak about the accreditation and accreditation of technical institutes. I have come to the end of my brief keynote on technical education. Now I request Professor Shivdas Bhattacharya to discuss the topic through PPT presentation.
Thank you, sir. First of all, I would like to thank Professor Deepasri Shah for a wonderful introduction, and all the members of Elite Engineering College. They have really organized such a wonderful, it's a really a wonderful initiative. This kind of conference, it will motivate the students and also colleagues uh, from all the engineering colleges have participated today. So we can when coming to the quality assurance in the educational sectors, and especially in the engineering education sector, it is really very much a tough task. That when we have actually researched, me myself and Professor Somendranath Basu, when we did an extensive research on that in 2019-20, when we actually prepared the paper, we have seen that in many areas we are lagging. We are lagging in infrastructures. We are lagging in proper resources. In some places, resources are available, but they are not fine-tuned. So many facts has come through this research, and by today's presentation, I would like to put light on few of those facts that have come upon while doing the research. So, shall I present the PPT, or is there someone who is handling the PPT presentation? Deepasri madam, if you can let me
Yeah.
know, shall I handle the PPT presentation, or is there
If
someone else?
if you have you have no problem, you can share the PPT.
Okay,
Otherwise, it
fine,
will be
fine.
shared from our end also.
No
It
problem.
can be
I
shared.
will be doing that. I will be sharing it. No problem.
Okay, okay.
Just
Thank
just
you,
give
sir.
me. Yeah.
I'm asking you, sir.
Just give me a few moments. I'm
Okay,
sharing.
okay, okay. Take your time. No problem.
Okay. Thank you.
Any problem, Shivdas?
No, I'm just sharing it. Just a
Okay,
few moments.
okay.
Yeah. Is that visible from your side?
Yes, it is visible. But sir, can you make it full screen? Uh,
Yes. 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 Yeah, I'm not getting proper option to mute it full screen.
Actually, below the PPT, there is a cup sign. I think
Okay. Okay.
you are opening from MS Office, right?
No, it is actually open by the browser. So probably for that reason, it's not showing. Okay, just let me see.
I request our web host Abhijit sir, please help Professor Shivdas Bhattacharya.
Actually, I have converted it into the PDF. That's why that option is not present.
He's already the co-host. He can share from his end.
Sorry.
Sir is sharing in PDF format.
Yes, this is in PDF format.
Okay.
Okay. It is visible, I think.
Yes, it is visible. Uh,
Some participant, I guess, they are unable to see this.
Sir, PDF you make the PDF in full screen mode. Is it possible?
I'm trying that. Just give me a few minutes.
Yeah.
Is it now visible?
Yes, visible, but it's not full screen actually.
Yeah.
Yes, it is now full screen. Yes, it's perfectly okay, sir.
Okay, fine. I think someone
No,
has opened
yes,
it
yes.
for me. Thank you.
Okay.
So actually, Professor S.N. Basu, he has given a very concrete path from where I can start actually. So coming to the first slide, can we go to the next slide in the first one? Okay. So what actually uh, motivated us to do this research? We have pointed out few points here. So the first thing that we get motivation from is the scenario. As both of us were part of a technical sector and where we deal with technical educations, so we well establishing in our institute, a technical institute, while establishing the uh, NBA accreditation, then we have actually found something which was very interesting, that the policy or the educational system, the teacher learning system that we actually try to implement in an institute, the lack of standardization, and organization like NBA, they provide that standardization. Now, while doing that NBA work, we have first of all, for the first time, we have actually seen a few issues that we have pointed out here. The first one is the quality issue in technical education, where the immediate problem comes when establishing the education procedure. Now, while establishing the education procedure, the problem that we face is that how to, how to set up a system which can easily convey the quality materials and the quality resources. Now, as we can see that quality faculty members is the main aspect. Now, having quality faculty members, say suppose we have quality faculty members in our hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. You are audible. Yes,
You are
sir.
audible, sir.
Yes, Shivdas, please continue.
I think sir is facing some network issue.
I think there is some problem with his
Yes, sir.
computer.
So this is the drawback of virtual mode.
Okay,
It
I am
was,
making a call to Shivdas. Please
please,
wait.
sir. Okay, sir.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, sir. You are audible now.
Okay, okay. Actually having little internet issue.
Mm.
Okay, fine.
Okay, sir.
So I don't know how far have you have listened. So, as we were focusing that the quality assurance, how can we say that we have enough quality in the teaching, learning, or any other process that we want to establish in our institute or in our organization? So, thinking on that, what AICT has done, they have actually extended their wing and they have established the NBA. So NBA is basically an extension of the AICT, which are actually assessing the quality of each organization who wants to or who opts to actually go through that process.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Shivdas.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
You are audible. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, yes.
Please carry on, sir.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So, as standardization is very much required. So, keeping in that thing in mind, institution in these days are actually inviting NBA to assess how good they are in the teaching learning process and how what quality students they are actually producing at the end of the 3 years of or 4 years of graduation. So this process actually was a part of Washington Accord, And under that accord, few countries all over the world, they actually signed that. And that has been implemented using the NBA through the AICT. Now, when NBA come, they actually assess few quality. They have their few quality parameters, and while working for those parameters, if organization, we have seen that if one organization work for those parameters only, that particular organization is being developed automatically. That systems established that kind of quality automatically. So there was an essence of quality throughout the third world. Sense of quality. It is a very interesting fact. We produce more number of engineers country in each year, and at the same time, more number of candidates are unemployable. It has been seen that maximum number of AICT in their recent one publication, they have said that maximum number of engineers that we produce throughout the year, they are unemployable. So the quality is always there, is always playing a major role there. And to establish that quality, we need some kind of standardization system that NBA provides. Now, the accreditation of academics program is very much essential in today's, because suppose we have one program, suppose we are running one program like computer science, or we are running one program like electronics, whatever. So how can we assess that we are delivering the quality educations, we are delivering quality infrastructure?
Hello, sir. There is a lot of
Is there? I don't know.
word issue. There is a lot of.
May I call him?
Can you please you can do, sir.
Hello. So that was the motivational part of this particular research. While establishing the NBA in our institute, we have seen that what is the actual essence of establishing an quality education system, because that is the ultimate contribution that an educational system or engineering education system can make to the society. So it is very important to actually make correct all the checkpoints that organization like NBA provides. If we can follow them very rigorously, then ultimately we can contribute in society by giving them some very good quality engineers and very good quality resources. So that was the motivational part. If we can move to the next slide. Sorry, please bear with me. I'm having some internet issue here. Okay, fine.
Okay, sir.
So, when talking about the, top-notch or top-tier universities or engineering colleges who have been established only to satisfy one motto, to provide quality education. And if we talk about those kind of institutes, obviously in technical education, Indian Institutes of Technology, Indian Institutes of Science, Indian Institutes of Management, NITs, these names actually come in our mind for the first time. And we can see that in recent years, the number of IITs, the number of The number of IIMs, NITs, and also IIITs nowadays, they have also come into the belt of National Institute of National Importance. They all are playing very good role in providing quality educations. But that is not enough. As I said, that there is a huge number of engineering students who, there are a huge number of students who want to pursue their career as an engineer. And that's the problem where it is coming. So to tackle that huge numbers, yes, sorry.
No, sir, go ahead. It is okay, sir.
Please
You are
continue.
audible.
Please continue.
Please continue.
Okay, so as the top-notch institutes who are already providing quality educations, and they have obviously limited number of positions to to absorb students or to produce good quality of students. So then the next responsibility directly come to the other government organizations or institutes or the private institutes. Now, in last 20 years or 30 years, the number of private institutes like us has, that has been exponentially, the number is increasing exponentially. So obviously, one responsibility directly comes to the private organizations like us, where we do have very good resources, and we have very good infrastructures, and also very good quality of students. But the problem where occurs is we have lack of ideas how to make that system work, so that finally the students get industry ready. What these institutes have been working through their from the date of establishment. So what they have done in these days to ensure quality, they have actually introduced many online platform like MOOCs, NPTEL. I hope all the students, participants here, they have heard of it. So this kind of MOOC platform they have introduced. And also in these days, if you want to have a good, good profile, you must have some certificates from those MOOC or the provision they have made, all the NITs and IITs they have made. So they have actually basically outsourcing their knowledge, and it is completely free, so that the quality, it doesn't become centralized, it doesn't reach only a few bunch of students, and it is being actually spread to all the students. So ultimately, the ultimate goal is to provide the same kind of quality. So it is little bit different. Difficult practically to actually ensure same quality just by only if you go for some MOOC courses, just by going through them to establish quality from learning from online platform. It is good, obviously, but just from doing that, it is really difficult to ensure that level of quality. So what next? What can we do next? What should be our responsibility to do from the institutional perspective? So we can basically we can approach some standardization organization like NBA, and they can actually give us a very good guideline how to move with this large resource and ultimately to make them more and more productivity. Okay, the percentage of productivity that will be increased with the guidelines of organizations like NBA. So these institutes, they are really doing a fascinating job towards the education system, towards the engineering education system in India, and also they have taken initiatives, different kinds of initiatives, so that they can more and more spread their quality, the quality they have achieved, to the common organization. We can nowadays many organizations are doing tie-ups with different IITs, NITs, also with their many programs they are doing by collaboration. Okay, so that can also, those kind of offers are also there. That can be also done apart from going for NBA kind of organization. So moving to the one more thing before moving to the next slide. One important information is given. The number of AICTE approved institutes that offer engineering courses in India is around 10,987. This data is sometime back. So the current data I couldn't have introduced because it is not available in the internet. But this is of some time back. So around that time, 5,502 institutes were there which were offering the diploma courses and 10,987 in the BTech courses. Now, this is a huge number. This is a huge number. So when that number of engineering colleges is devoted to actually provide the knowledge, to provide the teaching learning system, then ensuring quality is very much important, because if even 10,000 or even 2,000 or even 3,000 engineering colleges out of this number, if they are not providing a quality education, then that will impact a huge number of students, and ultimately that will impact the industry too in the later time. So that is why it is very important. The numbers are very important, and the ensuring quality, whatever we can do from our part, is very important for ensuring the quality in making the quality resources. So can we please move to the next slide? Yes.
Sorry, sir, we are unable to hear
It is a
you.
problem.
There has some network issues, I think. Audience are requested to stay with us. Please have some patience. Please be with us.
Sorry. Yes. Sorry. Fine. So if we now try to establish quality with the resources that we have already, where are we exactly facing the problem? Where we are exactly facing the problem, and how that can be removed? We have pointed out few points here. So if we look in, or if we try to establish the quality thing in the organization, the problem that comes, it may come from every stakeholder points, right? If we want to establish very quality organization, then the first of thing is that is to attract or is to retain quality resources. Because unless and until you have quality resources, I'm talking about the faculty members. So unless and until you have a very quality resources, then the end product that the students are getting, or the materials or resources that the students are receiving from the teachers, and that will be compromised. But if an organization try to retain very good quality of faculty members and professors, then they must provide some scope for those faculty members or professors so that they can upgrade their levels, they can have a challenging environment, and also they are being paid good, because unless and until these things are provided by the organization, retention of good faculty members or good resources, that is not possible. So if the retention is poor, in NB also they have a very strong point for the faculty retention. If retention is not there, then the material or resources or the learning that we are providing to our students, that will be compromised at some point of time. Again, another thing is that with modern days, we need to employ modern technologies, even in the case of educations also. Like in the pandemic days, we have seen that how can we deal with the online things. I mean, before the pandemic things, probably few of us, including me, had very good idea about how dealing with the online educations, and people even didn't have dare. Only few universities, probably from the western side, was there which were dealing in online courses. But today, after the pandemic situations, in the post-COVID situations, even the different IITs, they have started offering graduation degrees online. Different IITs, they have started providing graduation degrees online. So a degree completely that is being provided online. So new things must be appreciated and must be absorbed, most importantly. And the old things which is maybe not relevant for today's teaching learning, that can be obsoleted. Okay. So also when coming to the online system, as I have discussed earlier, the MOOC is a very fantastic thing from students and from teachers' perspective also. So there is basically no barrier of learning in these days. Like maybe back 10 years or 15 years back, only the chalk duster and classroom situations we can imagine for the teaching learning process. But these days it is not like that. So that kind of new thing must be implemented and adopted by the organizations. Next thing is that while teaching, some organizations can employ some smart teaching way. Smart teaching way that suggests that organization can implement some smart teaching classroom. They can go for flipped class. There is one concept of flipped class. Many organization, teaching organization, private and big organizations, they are using flipped class teaching methods. So these kind of things can be employed to take the education system from the orthodox to the smart one. And considering today's claim of the students, they are very much online. They are very much familiar with online things. So to attract them, the teaching methodology, that should be also modern. And then again, I will say here that this is only possible if we want to go actually through a standardization process, and that is the main thing. That if we go through that will automatically help us to establish all other things that actually require to establish a quality system. If we can move to the next slide. Okay. So now coming to the problems, then what kind of problems can we face if we want to establish quality system? The first problem that we can face, I've also discussed that in my last slide, the shortage of competent and in quality. So this shortage of quality resource, this is coming from the both way. There are quality issues with the students also, and there are some quality issues with the faculty members also. Now, if the one problem can be solved, if the quality faculty members, that problem can be solved. How that can be solved? They can be, motivated to go for regular training programs, training institutes like NITTR, in India, all over the India, there are training institutes like NITR. To learn new things, they can go for in organizations like NITR. Again, they can also use MOOC system. So these things should be there, and also organization must motivate their faculty members to go for higher studies. If you have master degree, they must motivate their faculty members to go for research, to go for PhDs. If they are having bachelors, they can motivate themselves to motivate their employees to go for master degree, like that. So they always should be motivated to learn new things. That is most important. To learning new things. If we learn new things, we know all the senior colleagues of mine, they are present here. If we learn new things, then we automatically by default, that new things by some part at least, that will propagate to the students. Now practice, another important thing is practice of engaging ad hoc or daily teachers, which is really hampering the quality of education. In many organizations, they do not hire permanent faculties. So if you do not hire permanent faculty members, if the retention quality is again very poor, then the teaching learning at some point that gets compromised. Large dropouts and failure rates in many organizations, they do not have proper mentoring and monitoring system. What exactly students are doing, what kind of problems they are facing in their academic and non-academic life, organizations, they do not have any track of that. So due to that scenario, many students, they come in the first year and then they drop out. They suddenly stop coming due to some kind of problem. They do not continue their education process. Maybe some little more care, some little more monitoring, some little more mentoring in proper way, in proper systematic way, can actually reduce this rate of failures and also the dropouts. So that is very important. That is very important because from the organizational perspective, if a good number of students, they do not admit themselves, then other things are automatically ruled out. So having a very good monitoring and mentoring system is very important. The teachers are straightway recruited without assessing their ability to teach. This is another very important point. We discussed that in most of the organizations, just by looking at the degree these faculty members is having or holding, they absorb the faculty members. So in most of the cases, what happens, as we already should, all of us should agree, all the senior colleagues that participating this meeting, this conference right now, we will all agree that teaching is some different skill and having knowledge or having degree is some different skill. So the skill of teaching, that must be assessed at some point of time before really absorbing the resource, because ultimately they are going to teach the students. So that is more important than having knowledge. Maybe that level of knowledge, maybe I'm pursuing PhD or I have postdoc, so that knowledge is directly not relevant to the students. But the basic knowledge that which we are going each day to the class and delivering to the students, that is very important. So that art probably before absorbing the faculty members, the management or the organization must ensure that that person is having that art. Okay. Now, if one maybe is lagging with that can also be developed, and for that, the different teaching training program goes on all over the year in different organizations. They can participate there, and they can also increase their teaching skills. Teaching is basically also a skill; it's no more an art. So if you do, it is not like that. If you do not have that art in your inside, you cannot teach. So in these days, they say that teaching is a skill rather than art, and skill can always be developed. So most of the self-finance institutes are not offering salaries as per AICT. Many of us participating in this particular conference, all my senior colleagues, many of us know that this is the scenario, and maybe this scenario can be some things there are which is not in our hand, which is a market situation. Maybe to change this scenario, something which is required actually, that we cannot actually that is not in our hand. So what we can do the other things. We can maybe ensure some quality things, some quality system, and then again maybe it can came as a feedback loop, and then it can increase the employability of the students. So if the employability of students get increased, and then automatically the intake of the college, that will be increased, and maybe after that the salary offerings, maybe that will also be, that can also be increased. The institutions do not pay adequate, yes, that also already I have discussed. They do not attention for the faculty development. Even in some institute, faculty development program does not go on the regular frequency. So they must be, whenever the AICT is changing their syllabus, Macau is changes their syllabus, WBSCT they changes their syllabus in every 5 years, and new subjects are being introduced, new technologies are being introduced. So a faculty member has to have some time to develop themselves so that they can deliver new things. Because in these days, faculty members, they are highly engaged in their teaching, so they must have some space. Apart from their private life, they must have some space, and that space must be provided by the organization only, so that they can generate those skills and then come and then deliver. Also, lack of good administrator. Yes, that is a problem with every system. Lack of good administrator. What they make decisions that can actually the decisions they are making that can really affect the whole process. Even all these things come after once they take a good decisions. If they take good decisions like retention in good faculties and all other policies, they will be interested in taking that must be good decisions for the organization, so that it can benefit the whole system. If we can move to the next slide. Yes. So another problem is that, again, in many organizations, they are lagging of good laboratories also. So I am from IT background. I can say from my perspective that in IT, having a good computer system, I know many of my colleagues and students also maybe agree that having a very good laboratory is very important. I'm not saying that state-of-art laboratories, maybe that is very unrealistic, saying that all the private organizations, they will provide a very state-of-art laboratories, but here but at least they must meet the claim of the syllabus curriculum. So in most of the organizations, I have also personally seen in many organizations that they do not meet even the requirement or the claim of the syllabus and curriculum. Probably using very old version of computers, softwares, and all these things. So that must be removed. And then lack of the interaction between industry interaction is very important. And in NBA also, it is saying that industry institute interaction is very important. So industry interaction, if the institute doesn't frequently interact with the industry, they have no idea what is going on in the industry, then the students, they will never be industry ready. So you need to send your students for internships. You need to send your students to go and do some live projects in some companies and all these things. So industries also to attend seminars, which many industry these days they arrange free workshops, free seminars. They can go and participate in those seminars. Even the faculty members, they can also do some consultancy work, being engaged with the industries. So this is very important. If you do not frequently interact with the industries, it will be basically a lack. The industry and the curriculum gap will be huge. And what the AICT has been trying all the last year is to minimize that gap. Minimizing that gap is very important. Uh, uh, then also improving the institutional infrastructure and the teaching methodology. Also the examination system that can also be modified by the organizations or the administrations. Also keeping in the mind what AICT or the body is prescribing, keeping alignment with that, the examination system can also be improved. Maybe they can go for some online examination systems also, which they can employ, where they can take exams frequently. The assignments they provide, many organizations, the assignments provided, they are very low quality assignments. Assignments is something where the assessment of students can done maybe more than the examination. So providing some very good assignments, these things are some checkpoint that we can actually do in our regular classes, in our regular days of classes. And these small steps will finally take us to reach the goal, where we can actually get a very good outcome. So outcome is the NBA is talking about, the ICT is talking about, and probably all the organizations, we are also probably looking at the outcome, because the system nowadays, education system is going for outcome-based education. So before we start a course, we write that we expect students should learn this. So these are the outcomes. And why this is outcome-based? Because once we can ensure that the students have gone through this and they have learned this, we can directly go to the industry and we can demonstrate them. Our students have learned this, you can absorb them very easily. So that's why the whole system is going for outcome-based education. Also, it is very easy to assess the outcome-based education. If there is no particular outcome of a particular course, then it becomes really difficult that how much trained or learned our student is, to assess that. So to assess how competent our students are, and also from the other side to assess what faculty member is exactly delivering, the outcome-based system is very much a necessary thing. And also library benefits, yes, that is another very important thing. The library benefits in most of the organizations, they do not have a very good quality books. They do not purchase very good quality books, so that due to that, what is happening, students are learning very low quality materials, and at the end of the day, they are not getting a proper idea. They are not getting their basics right, most importantly. So that is very important. And not only the library books, it is also the ICT infrastructure. Nowadays, big universities or colleges, they are providing ICT infrastructure, which is very important, which can help our students to grow independently and to learn, which they call a lifelong learning. So that can actually encourage them to go for a lifelong learning, and they can actually learn independently without the help of any resources, without the help of faculty members, so that will actually indulge them to think, which is very important in the engineering section. If we can move to the next slide. Okay, basically this graph I have given, I've actually forgotten to mention the heading of this graph. This is a graph of gate. So most of the students may be present here also. They will opt gate at some point of time. So maybe or maybe not. If you are interested in getting a good job in PSUs, or if you are interested in going for higher studies, you can go for gate. Okay. Now gate is a benchmark, right? Gate is basically an aptitude test. Let me tell you that to the students. I'm telling all this. So it is basically an aptitude test of for the engineers. So though aptitude, it is a different kind of exams, but I would personally encourage all the students to go for a GATE exam. That will give you a very good experience and also knowledge. So now see the graph, what is it telling? The red is actually, red legend is for the registered, how many students are registering in the GATE. Up to this data is up to 2016, because recent data, I do not have recent data with me right now. And then appeared and the qualified. See, the qualifying number of students, that is very low, which is really alarming. right? So the students that we are producing each year, this is just a sample. This is not every students also appearing in the gate, but the percentage, if you see, that is maybe 10 to 15% of the students, they hardly clear the gate, which is really very alarming when it comes to the quality education. And also these days, in this particular little curve, there is a high contribution, not from the educational sector, not from the colleges, but from the sectors like say different gate, uh, which institutes. Okay, so they also actually contributing to this card, not only the colleges. But in colleges, if the quality of the education they are serving, if that is up to that level, then maybe this card will grow, and maybe we need not need to have any institutes that which are currently available in the market. So yes, coming to the next slide. I think I'm almost in the few minutes of my presentation. So this is basically another alarming fact that I have tried to produce. You see in the right table, the number of closed institutes. In 2017, it was like 53, and in 1920, it is like 78. So see, many institutes are getting closed, and most of the cases is the in this scenario is common is the having lack of quality. So this is another alarming fact that I have produced here. Now, yes, we can go to the conclusion. I would like to conclude now. So ultimately, the moral of the story is to assess ourselves every time. And also the NBA, they prescribe one format which is called SAR. This is self-assessment report. So basically it is all about assessing ourselves. How as an individual I am performing, how as an entity my organization is performing. That makes the difference at the end of the day. How better I perform as a faculty, how I better perform as a student, how better I am performing as a management each day. If we can establish some methodology to track that, and finally we can get some good output. So this is in a nutshell how can we achieve some quality if we really are concerned about doing that, and we can actually contribute to the society with some quality resources. That's it from my part. I would again like to give a big thank to Deep and to Elitte College for organizing such a wonderful conference online, and all the participants here, all my colleagues and students, for being patient. Actually, I am having a very bad net issue in my place here. Even then, you have been so patient and kind to actually listen to me, and that's it from my part. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful and enriching lecture. Now, this is the time for question answer session. Audience, if you have any query, please raise your hand or write it in chat box. So, if anyone has any query, please let us know. Audience, if you have any query, someone raised their hands before some time. I think, sir, there is no query right now. So, moving to the next part. Thank you, sir, for your valuable presentation.
It's all my
I'd like to present small token of appreciation for the respected keynote speakers, Professor Shomendranath Basu and Professor Shivdas Bhattacharya.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Please accept this, sir. This will be mailed to you also by organizing committee shortly.
Thank you. Thank you for offering this. Means a lot.
And this will be mailed to you also by our organizing committee shortly. Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Yes, greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So moving to the next part of this session, contributory presentations on engineering education. As already mentioned earlier, Dr. Krishna Hazra Madam is the session chair and our honorable judges are Dr. Shubhashish Banerjee and Dr. Ashwini Kumar Sharma. There are 3 contributory presentations. Best paper will be awarded at the end of this conference. Maximum allowable time for each presentation is 10 minutes. So contributory presenters are hereby requested to kindly finish within due time. And once again, I would like to request the audience to raise your queries at the end of each session, or you can write it in chat box also. So let me check if the first speaker is with us or not. Without
Yes,
I'm
I'm here. Yes.
Without the Goswami sir. Oh,
Yes.
okay. Sir. Okay, sir. Thank you. And the topic of paper 1 is online mode of engineering education during pandemic, merits and demerits, authored by Githartha Goswami, Nikki Kalita, and PG Ramesh. I'd like to call upon Githartha Goswami sir to please start his presentation.
Okay.
Over to you, sir. Thank
yeah.
you.
So thank you, ma'am. First of all, good afternoon to one and all present in the session. My name is Kritartha Goswami. I work at the Northeastern Regional Institute of Science and Technology in Arunachal Pradesh as a research associate in the Department of Civil Engineering. Formerly, I was working as assistant professor at Scholars Institute of Technology and Management, Guwahati. So first and foremost, I would like to thank Professor Dr. Sudip Bhattacharya for giving me a venue to present my research on different modes of engineering education during pandemic. I would also like to thank the entire organizing team for their tremendous efforts in getting this webinar together. The theme of my talk today is online mode of engineering education during a pandemic, benefits and drawbacks. So I'm sharing the PPT. Is it visible to all? The PPT?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, the PPT is not there. Yes, now it's
Yes.
Okay. PPT is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So, as we all know, COVID has taken a heavy toll on us, particularly in the education sector. The pandemic forced the education industry to go online, and many of us struggled at first. The COVID-19 pandemic has compelled a change in the way higher education in India is taught and learned. Online education is advantageous in terms of management skills, as well as more freedom for professors and students. Obtaining consistent internet access at work, on the other hand, is one of the most difficult tasks. Following COVID-19, academic institutions all over the world encouraged high schools and college professors to finish the remaining curriculum through virtual instruction. Many professors were hesitant to use online teaching platforms. For their annual Common Aptitude Test, that is CAT, IIM used a computer-based test paradigm, and my university, NERIST, uses LS Academia to administer semester exams. So there are several other platforms where this universities now conducts exams. So according to a study conducted by the Indian Institute of Education, Research and Training, blended learning is preferable option for technical education in India. And online education can be viable alternative to traditional education in many countries, including India. So if we talk about the merits and demerits of online education, let me discuss it. So first of all, merits of online education. While online education is not a new phenomenon, its significance was highlighted following the pandemic. While it has greatly aided the continuation of education, despite the closure of many educational institutions, there is significant debate between online and offline education. So online education, for example, uses digitalized tools and methods of teaching, whereas offline education uses traditional tools and methods of teaching. When compared to traditional classrooms, online classes are less expensive and take less time. Most classes allow students attend flexibly because recorded versions of the classes are made available. In the case of offline classes, a fixed and strict schedule is followed, which is beneficial to some students and detrimental to others, depending on the time management skills and level of focus. In online classes, the student sets the pace of learning, whereas in offline classes, the teacher sets the pace of learning. In terms of study material accessibility, online teaching is far superior in the 21st century. So before beginning my PhD, I worked as an assistant professor, as I told. So from my personal experience, I discovered that there is less interaction between students and teachers in online mode. Whereas in offline mode, we can personally monitor a student's progress in daily class by answering their questions and pointing out mistakes in the classworks. Furthermore, in online mode of teaching, technical issues such as internet outages, broken webcams, and frequent power outages in some parts of the Northeast are very common. To deliver and attend a lecture in offline mode, however, neither the student nor the teacher must be tech savvy. So in offline mode, we don't need to be tech savvy to attend the offline classes. Conducting practical classes is the most significant disadvantage of online technical education. A person cannot become an engineer without practical knowledge. Furthermore, institutes are unable to provide all practical classes via internet. So these are merits and demerits of online education. When we talk about the merits and demerits of online and offline exams, so then we will discuss about it. So online examinations are the ideal substitute for traditional exams, and they include a number of processes and features that make it easy to do all of the courses related with the administrating exams online. However, they do have a few drawbacks. For example, limitations in internet access, then typing abilities, then drawing figures and diagrams during an exam. These are very big concern while appearing for online exams. So now let me highlight the advantages. For example, the online exams are beneficial, especially for home-based education, which is not restricted to any particular location. Additional security is provided by features such as secure browsers, suspicious object identification, audit logging, chatbots, and so on. Remote proctoring technologies such as image-based, audio-based, and video-based do not allow applicants to cheat during an online exams if it is used as it should be. Question bank, answer sheets, other exam-related documents can be stored in cloud, which makes exam management easy and very cost-effective. The use of online exam platforms simplifies performance analysis. Online platforms provide tools for data collection and calculation. This makes the evaluation process very easy. Then let's talk about the offline education. So exams in classrooms are the standard method that has been used since ancient times. However, in order to keep up with the trend, exam administration methods must evolve. The limitations in online exam, uh, as mentioned before, are the advantages of offline exam, because we no need to rely on internet. We typing speed doesn't matter in offline exam, and drawing figures and diagrams are very easy because uh, we are practiced it since our childhood. However, in the absence of classroom, no offline exam can be given. To conduct offline tests, institution must locate a suitable examination venue or a facility. These exam centers must be well equipped with the amenities the student and invigilating teachers require. The institutes are in charge of transporting question papers and answer sheets to the testing location. The transportation of question paper is very sensitive. Institute needs to take help of local administration to get it done smoothly. This process involves huge cost. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of offline exams. When we talk about the degrees, so basically I was talking about the online education, offline education, online exam, offline exam, and now online degree and offline degree. Both of this category has its own benefits. For example, like the debate between an online degree and campus degree is a popular one, since they are poles apart in terms of their methods of learning, cost, and other factors. Distance education has been established for around 60 years. Part-time and remote learning programs can substantially help students who are unable to enroll in full-time courses for a variety of reasons. Because of the emphasis on traditional learning, online degrees have been underestimated for many years. However, when the pandemic came in 2020, online learning proved to be the most effective method of accumulating to the lockdown without forsaking schools or colleges education. So let me highlight the pros and cons of online degree and offline degree. So online degrees are cost effective. First of all, online degrees are cost effective, flexible, easy to obtain, and have no geographical limitation. There are both short-term and long-term alternatives available. However, it has drawbacks such as lack of practical exposure, restraint to textual study materials, fewer subject option, lack of interaction. As Shivdas has said, that in some universities we have a very good library, and in some institutions we do not have much library. But if an institute has a very good library and student is taking online classes, he cannot access those quality materials. So this is one of the limitations. However, in offline degrees, it enhances social skills and develops a student in holistic way. Moreover, practical exposure, access to resources on campus, in-person support are few more benefits of campus degree. So when I researched about the cons of campus degree, I found campus degrees are comparatively expensive and less flexibility for those pursuing a job or facing other restraints. And some institutes also has hectic admission processes, and in some cases, complicated eligibility criteria is like they are also present. So let me conclude the research. What I have found that online mode of education provides a plethora of advantages that are just unavailable in the case of offline mode. Thus, for any educational institution, online modes of education are slightly preferable to offline modes in terms of theoretical subjects, not in terms of practical, in terms of theoretical subjects. However, skill development and practical understanding can only be obtained through offline education. In case of online exams, both has its own, online and offline exam both has its own advantages and disadvantages. However, online exams were preferred during the pandemic because candidates can appear for the exams from any location and answer sheets can be evaluated at any time. Online exams use cloud technology to save the question papers, answer sheets, and other data. This is a big solution to the data management. And the identity of the candidate can be verified using different methods, which are secure and reliable. Like it is better than offline verification. So the use of remote proctoring options increases the security of online exams. Similarly, online and offline degrees have advantages and disadvantages based on the considerations described in the presentation. However, in my opinion, a blended mode of education from a reputed campus is the greatest alternative for technical education because it emphasizes practical learning. So thank you. Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful presentation. It was very much interesting. Audience, if you have any query, please raise your hand or write it in chat box. Sir, personally, I have one question. What is the future of this online mode of education in India? Actually, now the pandemic situation is going on, and when it will be over, then what will be the future of this online education system in India?
In earlier session, Professor Ashwini Kumar sir has said that in this time we need to like go for 5G technology. We have to think like 5G. We cannot remain in 2G. So my opinion is also similar. Online education is a boon for technical subjects, for this theoretical subjects. And for technical education, we need to have practical classes which can be done only in offline mode. So I see a mixed kind of modes
It's
like in
blended or a
India.
hybrid mode
Yes,
of education.
yes, hybrid mode of education.
Yeah. Okay. I think Dr. Shubhashish Banerjee sir has some question to you.
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
I
sir.
have a question,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Goswami. That is,
Yes, sir.
before pandemic and all that, we used to go for offline mode of education, right? Whether it
Yes,
is
sir.
technical, non-technical, whatever it is.
Yes, sir.
Now, suppose I'm basically from a core engineering branch, and online mode of teaching, you can teach so many things. First of all, you cannot see all the students in your class at a time,
Yes,
how
sir.
they are
Yes,
attending
sir.
your class, whether at all they are attending your class or not. You are
Yes, sir.
just teaching of your own. You may be a very good teacher, but
Yes, sir.
there are first boy in a class, there is a last boy in a class. Huh? So somebody is grasping the whole thing, somebody is not at all listening to you. So finally, at the end of the day, when they get the degree and they are going for employment, suppose an engineer, a mechanical engineer, he has never seen a lathe machine, or he has never seen a machine physically in the workshop. He has seen all these photographs and all that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So it is very difficult for that person to work in a factory or a place where he has to contribute something. He has to work personally with their own hands. So I think this is a very debatable question. Before pandemic, we never used to thought of these things, and
Yes,
during
sir.
the pandemic session, for say 2 years, almost about 2 years, it cannot happen that everything will be standstill. After 2 years, again we will start or something like that. But in spite of all these things, market value or the marketability of those batches who have come out during this pandemic, in my opinion, that is bit low compared to a general student who has come out during a non-pandemic situation. Do you agree?
Sir, agree with you partially. This is applicable for, in my opinion,
Mm.
I might be wrong, I'm not sure, but in
Mm.
my opinion, this is applicable to the practical, like technical students only, who needs practical learning, like hands-on training. In case of theoretical
Now,
subjects and
suppose there
theoretical
is a
line,
student of physics honors or chemistry honors. They have
yes, sir.
never gone to the laboratory. They have only
Yes, sir.
seen pictures. Okay.
Yes, sir.
How it can be equivalent to that
No, sir.
student who has gone to the practical, who has faced through the practical scenario and all that?
No, sir, that cannot be. They are not equal. They are not equal, sir. Because even in science,
Exactly.
we need to have like hands-on training.
Exactly. So under compelled situation, we had to go through this phase. There was
Yes,
no
sir.
option.
No.
But I don't think this is preferred and this is not preferred. Online is
Sir,
preferred and offline is not preferred.
sir, but
It is my
when it was
personal
like,
opinion, of course.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I respect your opinion, sir. But like when I researched about this topic,
Hmm.
so online education was like a savior alternative in India to save the education sector.
Mhm.
Without this alternative, our 2-3 batches of students would have like faced the like rat of this COVID.
Absolutely, absolutely. But there has to be some compensation mode also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If you ask me, I will say there has to be some compensation mode.
Agree, sir.
Whatever I could
Completely.
not do during these 2 years of
Yes, sir.
time and all that, that should be incorporated later on. Otherwise,
Later on.
I
Yes,
am
sir.
not equal to or equivalent to that person who got a degree or diploma, whatever you say,
Yes, sir. Yes,
in
sir.
pre-pandemic situation.
Yes, sir. I completely agree with you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, ma'am, can I?
Yes, sure, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Banerjee sir.
Thank you. Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, so Gritarth, I am just taking the question from Banerjee sir, just extending that. The
Yes, sir.
real kind of scenario in which if we go to the classroom, let's say Banerjee sir is going into the classroom for maybe 50, 60 students, he can very easily control on that. There will be a classroom dynamics, right?
Yes, sir.
For 8 hours, the classroom dynamics will be there. Though slowly it will come down, but it will not come down like zero. But if you talk about the same scenario in online education, starting class, you never know what the students are doing and whether they are even attending your classes or not, as Banerjee sir has told. So
Yes, sir.
just keeping those students for 8 hours in a day onto the screen, this has somehow failed the entire system. So that's what the thing is. So what is your opinion on this?
Okay, sir. Thank you for the question. I would like to share one of my personal experience on this, sir. So when I first took the online classes back in 2020, so it was like I am talking to a wall because everyone switched off their camera. I cannot see anyone. Everyone, like I'm talking to a wall. It is like that. So I cannot see if whatever I'm saying, if the opposite one is getting or not, if the students are getting or not. I cannot see it. I cannot monitor them. So at that time, what did I do after like 1 month gone, 1.5 month gone? What did I do? I prepared some questions. Like I prepare my next class. If I prepare next class, I will prepare some question based on the class. And whenever I complete one particular lecture, I raise those questions as a poll. There are some features in this platforms, so we can poll. I can monitor them. I can monitor them if they are replied, if the answers are correct, how much times they require to answer those questions, like that, sir. So I kept the students awake. I'm saying the word awake. I kept the students awake by virtue of this.
Yeah, that's right. I think I got it. But still, I'm thinking from the perspective of the students. As a
Yes,
teacher,
sir.
we have to go for 1 hour only into the classroom. But the students
Yes,
are
sir.
sitting for 8 hours waiting for the teacher and getting deliberated. 8 hours per day for 5 days continuous, the screen time, I think this has taken a toll on the health of the students sitting at one place and attending the classes. So these are some of the drawbacks of online.
Drawbacks. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very correct.
But
Drawbacks.
this platform in which we are having this conference, people from all across are attending this conference. Online education is very, very good as far as the duration is short. Let's say 2 days workshop or 3 days conference. Likewise, otherwise it should be offline. Otherwise, our ancestors were very, very wise and they would have gone to the online way back. Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Yes, sir. So I'd like to add one more point on this, like online education, the location flexibility is the best case in case of online education or online teaching, because anyone can attend the class or session from anywhere in India or anywhere across the world. So that was my opinion. Thank you.
Okay, audience, any more question? Is there any more question? I think we have no more question for this presentation. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir,
Yes.
for
Thank
your
you. Thank
valuable
you.
presentation.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Subhashi sir, for asking the question. Thank you, Ashwini sir, for asking the question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Paper 2 is on National Education Policy 2020 and the Prospect of Technical Education in India, authored by Ramanuj Goswami sir. But unfortunately, he is not able to join this conference virtually. So we are now moving to the third paper of this, third contributory paper of this session. The paper 3 is on efficient management of technical educational institution in India, authored by Prantash Kumar Nag and Shantanu sir. I would like to request Shantanu Datta sir to kindly start the session. Over to you, sir. Thank you. Miss Shantanu sir. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are visible. Dr. Shantanu sir. Dr. Shantanu Datta sir is among us for the paper presentation on efficient management of technical educational institution in India. Mm.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay, sir. Is it full screen is there?
No, it is not full screen.
Acha. Now it is coming full screen.
No, sir.
Okay. Is it coming
No,
full screen?
no, sir.
Okay. So
Sir,
you will see it.
it is not full screen. It is not coming full screen.
Is it coming full screen now?
No, sir.
Acha.
If anyone from our side can share the screen. I think Gautam is sharing the screen, or Vijit sir. Anyone?
Okay. So now it is coming full screen. I think
Yes,
so.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Please start your presentation.
Okay, so my topic of today's paper is actually efficient management of technical education institution in India. This is a case study of EIEM. Okay, so the authors are PK Nag and myself. I am presently the professor of mechanical engineering, Elite College of Engineering. So the table of contents is like this: the introduction, the technical education and government policies, the present curriculum and effective solution discussions, the case study in EIM, which is also a part of the Pinnacle institution group of institutions. And in the last, I will present the conclusions and scope of future endeavor. So here you see that this is nothing new. So we have actually taken some data from the previous papers and research articles and journals, where India is actually producing approximately 1.5 million engineering graduates. Okay, around 10,345 institutions, including government and private. Obviously, this data is actually taken from 2 years back year data. So I think there is a certain the mismatch of this. So I apologize for the same, and this includes the government private sectors. So we know that technology is touching now in every aspect of the life and the society with a view to the development and offering opportunities for the education and training. But the most surprising aspect of the present scenario is that that the 25% of the 1.5 million engineering graduates are employed, and basically the rest we can say are unemployed, or maybe they are underpaid, or maybe they are not fit for employment. That is a very big problem that we are facing in today's institutions of many institutions across India. So all these are basically affecting the country's economy and growth. So we have a lot of indexes and here and there, and here you are seeing that China is improving. In the same time, US is also improving, Japan is improving, South Korea is improving. So what is happening to India? India is having such a wonderful amount of student uh, uh, population, and we have so much amount of quality students, but unfortunately we are not being able to employ them properly and not being able to help them grow so that our country is not prospering. So what is the problem? What is the why is the industry not happy with this quality of these people? Okay, so as a matter of fact, the industrial education in a country is a long subject of debate, and we will better not discuss it right now in this platform. So we just put forward a case study of our institution, EIEM, and its mission and vision to nurture the students in the present scenario of the COVID. So the technical education and the government policies are basically AICT is monitoring and they are evaluating, right? And we are basically maintaining a part of the certification and awards at various levels. And the engineering curriculum, except the premier institutions like IITs and NITs, looks very much old. Okay, I have all studied in IITs, I have studied in NITs. Okay, and what I found that bearing some older IITs, okay, the newer IITs is still very much lacking in the level of infrastructure, in the quality level of faculty. Means being a premier institution like IIT, I'm saying, forget about the state level institutions. In IITs, I'm saying the new IITs, the governments have given the direction and they have opened up, but they have not met the current industry standard. They are operating maybe from a campus which is not yet completed. They are not having the proper lab. They are not having the proper faculties who are maybe the world class faculties, which are the standards for IITs. Okay, these type of things are actually stunting the growth of Indian education in the long run. So the qualitative growth of education in India, though undoubtedly has increased, but you see that the maintenance of the quality becomes the victim in this growth phenomenon. That is a big problem. So sorry. So as for the government policy towards the technical education is concerned, the central government, state government, and union territories, they all play a vital role, right? The human resources development of the country by establishing a large number of fully funded and technical educations. Okay, and they are creating the skilled manpower. Okay, which are really required for the enhancing the industrial productivity and improving the quality of the life of the people, right? So you see that technical education is covering the engineering, technology, management, architecture, pharmacy, etc. And obviously in the arts and crafts, hotel management, catering technology also, technical education has now ventured, and we see the Ministry of HRD in education has played a significant role in the development of the technical education on these areas also, right? And further, what we find that department should also look into promote innovation, and that is what actually the government of India is now doing. So they are focusing a lot of innovation councils, research and develop in every institution, in addition to providing affordable education and making Indian education, technology education globally acceptable. Okay, and to also look forward efficient for the efficient flexibility and empowered manpower sensitive to the industry expectation. So we see that the government, the industry, and the technical educations, they must work hand in hand, and the focus should be given towards education, which is an important investment in building the human capital and the future of the nation. And we see that some online in the present on a COVID situation, what we are seeing that many online platforms like NPTEL have played a very vital role, which are the brainchilds of the IITs, National Program for Technological Enhancement Learning. And we have this NPTEL platform very, very popular in our college, in the EIEM and the EC, in both the colleges of Pinnacle Education Trust. We are very happy to say that their students are taking up these courses in the long run, and they are passing the courses and also doing quite well. And I also, being the SPOC, means single person of contact of NPTEL, I also looking after the development of the brand institution of our college, so that our college as a whole gets improved in the NPTEL ranking. Now the present curriculum and technique that needs to be adopted. Okay, so this is one of the we see that is a quite still needs quite to be revamped. Okay, and to improve the gap of the required need and to gain adequate knowledge by the students and the professional schools are actually we are seeing that is quite poor, and this is what we are seeing that is actually leading to the inadequate job opportunities and higher studies in the specialized fields. So this is what we found by doing some research, qualitative and quantitative research for our this paper. We found that we could actually stress more on the present curriculum. It should be modified constantly to accommodate new and new subjects which are basically needed more by the industry. Okay, maybe which are the older ones has to be scrapped out and the newer ones has to be implemented, so that the curriculum constantly improves. Okay, and additionally students should be trained properly. Okay, not only the placement should be made online, which is mandatory, it should be given offline. Also in this COVID situation, this was a real problem that we faced, that in online mode of teaching we are facing a lot of problems even in the practical classes. So what we are doing are actually basically showing the videos or maybe the recorded videos of this particular situation, which is not a feasible solution, which I also accept. But what to do? So the situation was like that. It was not possible for the students to come out. But really, the government has means the EICT and HRD has come out with some very beautifully digital labs and doing trainings in such a manner that which is very beneficial for the students in the long run. So the management concepts and practices must be made in such a manner so that maybe we can develop these students in the long run. So quality management, workforce diversity, innovation, empowerment, and team downsizing and contingent workers, etc., needs to be basically looked into so that the present curriculum and technique can be adopted in the better possible manner. So we suggest some quality improvement. Basically, we can basically they are not new. Basically, we are not suggesting any new. We have actually seen that these are already been implemented by the academic institution. They are in touch with higher level institutions. We should be in touch with higher level institutions. We can make in-house facilities for our faculties or maybe the students with foreign universities or other colleges, so that they can go to that particular institution and by this way they can exchange their knowledge of technology, and there will be some possibility of the joint collaboration and research work also. Okay, so teaching profession should be more attractive and exciting with research oriented. So good administration, strong management, and well equipped facilities, various platforms with qualitative cultural activities needs to be taken account in a very positive manner, so that there is there should not be any problem for the current students. So here what I want to say that our college EIM has played a very important role in fostering the growth of the faculties and students by good administration, strong management, and when we keep facilities of the labs. And they have also tried to infuse qualitative cultural activities, sports, and games, and try to improve the teaching methods for effective solutions. So there's a tremendous chance to play a role in promoting entrepreneurship, which has already taken place in so many technical institutions. Appreciable initiatives taken by small scale industries, NSIC, a central PSU, MSME, Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium, towards various developments. And effective role for the students has to be taken into account. And EIM is in the right path, and we are also very much associated with both these institutions, fortunately, and this gives the right impetus to the students of EIM, as we suggest. Okay, so these are quite important in the long run, and will prove very much beneficial. Now we point out to the case studies in EIM what we have done. So basically, we already know that Elitte Institute of Engineering Management is situated in Karnamadpur near Mohispata, and it has strong managerial capacity. And not only that it has BTech courses in the various streams, EIM is also having streams like automobile, then it has have streams like hotel management, etc. Not to mention the other in various core engineering streams like electronics, telecommunication, computer science, humanities, civil, electrical, and mechanical engineering, right? So this the Industrial Training Institute having its two important sections was also started very recently. The institution has been awarded the Best Polytechnic for relentless efforts, especially mission and vision in technical education grade. And the goal lies in the capacity to orient the students to become job ready under the guidance of the higher competent and motivated and energetic faculties, trainers, officers, and staff. And EIM has always proved to be the best in this particular domain. The students are feeling the difference right now owing to the ambience to develop them in a disciplined manner. And many of the students are working in very established areas and established companies, and they are the proud alumni that we can say of EIM. So in a disciplined manner for enhanced successful career growth, EIM is pushing the students to become more job ready. So by, as I told you in the previous slide, that we have tied with NSIC and MSME for the development of our institutes. So we are upholding the standards of the institutions even more in this COVID situations also, by giving the proper impetus and training, right? So the final conclusions, what I can say is that the standards of technical education already that was discussed in the first slides has been already stated. There is nothing new. So we can always strive for Make in India campaigns by promoting hackathons, then promoting in-house quiz and debates, by promoting the technical tie-up with other foreign institutions, or sending our students to different institutions. There may be industry, academia interface. These type of things can be encouraged in our day-to-day institutes, and day-to-day workload of the engineering colleges, so that the present private engineering colleges can be benefited and should not be lagged behind. And AICT should also provide proper help us by providing some financial impetus also, so that we can also follow the same. Okay, so needless to mention that there are the developed countries like USA, Italy, France, Britain have suffered worse, and also India in the second wave also suffered in a very bad manner. There are no nursing homes, no hospitals, adequate beds to take care of this COVID-19 patients, because India is such a big country, but still our means our hospital people, means the doctors and the nursing home staffs and the other support staff have did their best. And we have right now, I think we are in a positive set. We cannot say that we should be happy or we should be overjoyed, because the pandemic can again hit after some time, so we should be cautious. But still we think that we are not in that very bad scenario. We are now capable enough to handle the COVID-19 pandemic, or maybe at a different type of pandemic which might come in the future in a better manner. We are equipped. And in this contest, we also, I on the behalf of EI, on this EIM, also salute the people and especially the faculty and the staff of EIM for the relentless efforts in upholding the standards of the institute, even in this challenging circumstances. They did their level best. Okay, maybe taking online classes, who are not at all accustomed to online, have now strictly moved to online, and we have tried our level best to give them our students the best. And this is the authors want to acknowledge the help of the following students also for preparing of this manuscript, and they are Kotha Roy, Pooja Das, Prithvi Prajapati, Tithangshu Shekhar Goswami, Saurabh Saha, and Titharjo Das. And these are some references. So thank you very much. I would like, if there is any questions, then I am very much glad to.
Okay, thank you, sir, for your valuable presentation. James, if you have any query, please raise your hand or write it in chat box. I think Dr. Subhashish Banerjee, sir, has some question.
Yes, yes, sir, please, please.
Professor Bhotto, will you please go to your first slide?
Okay, sir, I am going. Actually, right now, what I do is I am going to the first slide, sir. First of all, sir, actually, I want to wish you a very good afternoon. So I came to know that, sir, you are the previous principal of Elitte College of Engineering. Very nice meeting you on the online platform, sir. How are you, sir?
Thank you so much.
Okay, sir. So presently, we are under a very dynamic leadership of Professor Sudeep Basak. Tell me, sir, which slide? I am actually moved to the third slide. First slide. So this is the introduction overview of the present scenario. This slide you are saying, sir?
First slide, absolutely first slide.
Okay, sir. This one.
Efficient management of technical education institution in India, right? A case study of EIEM. Have you thought anything about quality of education?
Yes, please, sir.
Have you thought of anything regarding quality of education?
So the quality of the education is a very important factor, and obviously what do actually say quality is actually a vague term. So like that, if you just mention quality, that will not quality in technical education, that is actually a more important term, I can say. Okay, we can maintain quality in both manners. We can maintain the quality of the means the faculties. We can make improve the quality of the students. Okay, so in both ways we can actually make in the importance of this technical education qualities. So the quest of this technical education is actually the impact of the globalization, you see, sir. So actually there is a still.
No. I am not going to this global things and all that. I am talking. What you said is quality of faculty and quality of students, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
These two basic things. Are you emphasizing anything on these two aspects? I mean, quality of faculty improvement of quality of faculty, and improvement of quality of students.
Yes, sir.
Who is your finally end product?
So yes, the final actually the both in actually it is a actually quality improvement process like QIP. I think, sir, you already know the QIP. What is the QIP process? I am not explaining that. So, but actually we are under the MACOUT. So we to create the dissemination of knowledge.
How you can be under MACOUT? The EIM is under.
Yeah, so EIM is actually under the council, as far as my knowledge goes.
Technical council.
It's under council, but
because I am just telling you, I was also head of electrical engineering in EIM also during my tenure as principal.
Okay,
of
sir.
ECE.
Okay, sir.
Right.
So okay, sir. And actually, I am the faculty of ECE. means Elite College of Engineering, the degree part. So the yes, you are absolutely right in that manner. So the it is under the that, as I means pointed. You have
Because what
pointed
I
out.
want to say is that if you want to bring out a good quality product, that means a good quality of students,
Yes, sir.
you have to give good quality faculty, and at the same time you have to improve the quality of the students. Otherwise,
That
they will be able to establish themselves in their job
in
market.
the yes, sir. And we are trying our level best. I think our management, the visionary management, has appointed very good faculties in the EIM. Okay. First of all, the faculty should be strong. Faculty
Mhm.
means they are being recruited in such a manner so that they can cater to the students' quality. That is the most important thing, because if they do not understand the quality themselves, then how will the students' quality get improved? What they understand by the quality, that is very important. And what is the facility the college is giving to the students also, that is important. In that way, I can say
Facility, whatever EIM is giving to the students, even EC is also giving to the students, is very
yes,
good.
sir.
They have got a very good infrastructure, whatever I have seen
And it is
in my
constantly
tenure.
improving also. And sir, if you
Must be, must be.
visit the institute right now, sir, you will be happy. Means that the quality of the education is getting the quality of the infrastructure is also getting improved, and also the continuously the upgradation of the faculty and upgradation of the students. But as I pointed out in this slide also, if you see, sir, if you see that in this slide I told you that there are some there is a tremendous chance to play in the last part of this slide, effective solution. And means we have tied up with NSIC, and we have tied up with means the MSME, the Ministry of Micro, Small and Scale Industries, towards various developments.
Yeah, that
We
means you are
open,
trying to give practical exposure to your students,
yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir. We have opened up a IIC Innovation Council cell also in our college. There is a means innovation clinic has been opened up, and we are suggesting some. We are telling our students to participate in national level hackathons. We are sending them to the students. We are making first of all internal means assessment, means then we are sending the students to the outside national level institute, maybe IITs or NITs, where it is being held. And also with that, parallelly, we are also, the management is means I have seen from the mails also, I have seen the interacting with them. I have joined the institute after doing the PhD. So the student faculties who are not the PhDs, they are being suggested by the management to work on the PhDs as soon as possible. In this way, also on the research quality, whenever some faculty is publishing some research paper, he is being encouraged by the management. I have personally seen that. And also I would one thing I would suggest, that management should take care of uh, doing some participation, means make mandatory that students should students and faculties at least they publish one or two articles in Scopus Index journals, not the paid journals, because they are of no importance. If
That's
they
fine. That's
understand
fine. That's
that, if
fine.
they understand what
Every
the
faculty
Scopus
will try
articles
to
are,
improve himself
yes, sir.
by going through this
Not
process.
only there, not only, even our principal sir is always telling me, and I have whatever I have published, means I have got 30 articles, all means that whatever journal articles I have published, I don't have
Okay.
any non-Scopus articles. I have never published any non-Scopus articles. I have all published, all my articles are in Scopus.
Okay. Very good.
I will not publish anything which is trash. I will not publish anything which is
I
will
am
be
more concerned about
yes.
students' quality.
Because and not only that, these papers must be of importance to the present generation also. They must infuse some interest to the students, and then the students must also do this work. Means we are also doing some innovative projects also. Our principal sir is doing some innovative projects for the means the students. We are purchasing some good projects. We are trying to assemble them. Then will be if possible, then we can go for some means patent also, if possible. Okay. So these things
What
are
about
very
the
much
attendance stricture of the students?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is we
Class
are trying.
attendance.
Yes, these are the small improvements that it will take some time, sir. But I think in the long run, means if you come 1 or 2 hours, 1 to 2 hours, 2 years later, then you can means see the more improvement can be seen in the students' quality as I feel. And also the
finally,
infrastructure.
what about your examination policy?
Examination policies are that we cannot do means in-house. Means that is probably means we can make it more stricter, with make it more vigil. Okay, where even with online mode also, if we do, we can make it more stringent. Okay, so that
Online mode,
cheating
are you
can be.
going for proctored examination?
Yes, no sir, proctored examination we don't have. NPTL is having the
I'm
proctored
not talking
examination.
about NPTL. I'm talking about
No, sir.
CIE.
Internally, we don't have. Internally, sorry to say, we don't have the proctored examinations.
Hmm.
But here, maybe in the near future, sir, we can also means see that also in our EIM. Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Tha-
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I have really found some good questions from you. Thank you for
No,
sharing.
it's not a good question.
I
It's
want to thank
some
you too.
question is came in my mind because I was also with EIEM for
Okay,
about
sir.
2 years, so I am
Acha.
having some sentiment also. I'm
Definitely, sir.
having some nostalgic feeling also because when the morning the
Yes,
campus
sir.
was being shown virtually, I
Okay,
was
sir.
feeling that as if I have already present in the campus. Okay,
Okay, sir.
thank you so much.
Thank you. I want to thank the moderator. I want to thank the course. Means they are both have cooperated with me. This is the means if there is any other questions also, means I can listen to that also.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you so much,
Dr.
sir.
Datta.
Yeah, yeah. Sir, please continue.
Yeah, Dr. Datta, you have given nice presentation. The only
Yes.
query here is that how you are able to manage the expectation of the student. Let's
This
say students are entering into the campus, right? And they have
yes.
some expectation that they will be doing this in 4 years. So how you are managing those expectations?
To sir, actually, this is also a very good question, and actually, this is a thought-provoking question. Okay, sir. What I can tell you, sir, basically, when we enter the college, okay, we come with a positive sense of mind. So, can you mute yourself, please? I can not speak properly. Lord Vishnu, can you please mute yourself?
Okay.
Ramanuj, sir. Somebody, but the moderator, please mute. Now, thank you so much, sir. Thank you, the moderator, for muting. So that is a very good question, sir, from Dr. Oshani Kumar Sharma. Means whenever we enter a college, means this is a mandir of learning. Okay, right? So whatever small, big, whatever we do, that is a improvement. Means we think that we have come to give our best to the students, right? So when we come, maybe we come with a positive mindset. There may be many students who are coming with lot of problems to us. So we try to give them the best possible solution by listening to our problems. That is how we do the things. Means so that they get motivated at least in the long run. And also, what we do is we try to suggest the students to go for more knowledge, not only the domain knowledge, but the knowledge in which they might excel. Means they are liking that particular subject. They are not being able to take that subject because of the industry but they are maybe liking the subject. I specifically is striving and tell the students that whichever fascinates you. Okay, in this context I can say I always cite that famous Three Idiots film. Okay, where the father was telling that, okay, if you love photography, you go for photography. If you love drama, you go for drama. I also tell like that. Okay, in this way, I think there are small things, but they actually give great impact to the students. So in this way, we try to develop the students. Okay, and also we stress more, and now on the facility part, means the mac-out part, or maybe the council part that we are taking up. We never try to means prove a very strong means we always try to give some leniency to the students, not on the not on the education thing. Means not on the not means probably we will be very strict on the that they must attend the classes on regular basis. They have to attend the exams on regular basis, fine. But in other factors, we are quite we are a little bit means not very strict. Okay, So we suggest them that, okay, fine, you can go wherever you feel like. We give them opportunities. We tell them, you decide. Okay, so that they might also keep, they might also feel that, okay, sir is actually giving us the freedom to do this, do that. In this way, we think we can develop them in a more positive manner. Okay, so without any hampering the quality of the exam, the quality of the labs, or the quality of the present teaching and learning process. We always try to tell the students that, okay, you go for the best quality or the best possible manner in which you deem fit to do. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions?
Is there any more question, audience? I think no. Thank you, sir, for your valuable presentation. Now, I'm moving to the last paper presentation by Ramanuj Goswami, sir. Hello. Yes, yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Ramanuj Goswami, sir, is now going to present the paper on National Education Policy 2020 and the prospect of technical education in India. Okay. Sir, you can start your session. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. As Madam has already told, I myself Ramanuj Goswami, and the name of my paper is National Education Policy 2020 and the prospect of technical education in India. Basically, you know that this is a working paper, and as you know that NEP has become a very important topic for discussion since its arrival in the year 2020. And when, like rest of the world, India was fighting against the pandemic, in spite of that, the central authority tried their level best, honestly speaking, for the implementation of this policy throughout the country. And it's necessary to aware the common peoples specifically of this NEP. And technical education is not at all an exception. But what is the actual necessity of this NEP? And what is the significance of it? That's the question. For this reason, I'd like to convey my thanks to the Elitte College of Engineering Authority that they have selected this paper and they have given me the opportunity to deliver a few words on this theme. So first of all, I'd like to tell a few words regarding the necessity of NEP 2020. As you know that the last NEP, I mean National Education Policy, was adopted in the year 1986 when Rajiv Gandhi was the Honorable Prime Minister of India. And it was revised in the year 1992 when P.V. Narasimha Rao was our Prime Minister. So, time to time, education policy has changed. It's basically due to the need of time. So, is it the only reason behind NEP 2020 or anything else? So, if we just study the two NEPs, I mean 1992 or 1986 or whatever it be, and 2020, we can see the basic difference which is very evident between the two. In fact, 1986 NEP stressed to remove the disparity among the education, or it actually focused to provide education for all, for the backward class, for the girl students, and so on and so forth. On the other hand, NEP 2020, though it stresses also on this fact that I have already mentioned, still it has some other objectives also. The main objective of this NEP is nothing but Indianization of Indian education system. That's very important. Indianization or nationalization of Indian education system. India is celebrating 75th anniversary of its independence. Azadi Ke Amrut Mahotsav. We all know about it. But still, we cannot deny the fact that we are still continuing colonial hangover, which is very dangerous for us. Recently, there was a workshop at IIT Kharagpur where on this theme several papers were presented and all the speakers were just expressed their opinions regarding this dangerous tendency of our education pattern or dangerous trend of our education system, that so far since independence we are producing nothing but highly educated Indian foreigners, which was the objective of the British government at the time. They are really highly educated, very highly educated, but at the soul, they are not at all Indian because they have no knowledge at all, which maybe sound typical, but it's really an important fact that I'm going to tell you or share you, that they have really no knowledge regarding Indian culture, Indian society, Indian value system, Indian knowledge system at all. So there lies the necessity of such an education policy which will definitely ensure the establishment of such an education system or pattern which will create Indians, but in the true sense. Accordingly, this NEP 2020 will certainly cope up the need of the time, that is, the need of the 21st century students. That's why this NEP is a revolutionary one. Still, as I have already mentioned, that it is not implemented completely. We all know it due to the pandemic for the last 2 years. And we all pray to God that those tough days will not come again to challenge the existence of the mankind by at large. Anyway, now in brief, I'm going to tell you the nexus between NEP and the technical education. That is the second part of this paper. Basically, vocational and technical education were considered till today perhaps as a separate chapter or section of education so far, which may sound ridiculous, but it's true. Hence, in this NEP, it is strongly recommended that the technical education will not be considered again as separate chapter from the general education. Indeed, this cannot be an attitude, appropriate attitude towards the higher education. Moreover, we can see that in many cases, somehow, an inferior approach has been taken for the vocational students. NEP 2020 is different from all these drawbacks because somehow I have personal experience also. I have heard many persons, they are saying, look, this boy or this girl, they have nothing to study and hence they are joining to study in ITI or in Polytechnic Institute, etc., for diploma engineering and so on and so forth. So this is somehow an inferior approach towards them, which is not at all good for the society. According to a survey, I'm telling you that number of students who are less than 24 years, they are learning vocational education is less than 5% only, in India. While it is 52% in USA and 75% in Germany and more than 96% in South Korea. See, what's the difference? The difference is quite evident and shocking indeed. Hence, expansion of vocational education is really needed, and NEP announces that it will be made as mandatory or compulsory for the schools even to include vocational training in the mainstream education, not just an additional subject. I like biology, so I am taking biology as the additional subject. Not like that. It will be a mandatory subject and you have to study it. Further, in higher education level also, vocational education will be included. Learners will be encouraged for being self-dependent or to begin startup with the help of the central government or various NGOs also. BVOC degree. That's a very important point. I'm going to share you. BVOC degree will also be awarded, and ITI, Polytechnic institutes, etc. will be more modern equipped, and they will be directed towards job-oriented education, not only mere bookish knowledge. And the proper authority will help to expand apprenticeship also. And another important fact that I'm going to tell you, as vocational and technical educations are part of professional system, so it's time, basically it's need of time for more professionals. Obviously, we have to look at the quality maintenance that our earlier speaker, Dr. Dotto, has already mentioned. This means not only the increase in numbers, but also enhancement or the upliftment in the quality also, and NEP emphasizes that. Besides, it ensures to make Indian students as per international standard, definitely with absolute latest modern teaching, that is digital education, that has become a very important player during the pandemic. Society has changed a lot, and today digital or online teaching learning process has become an inseparable part of education. So NEP looks at this and announces to upgrade the standard of teaching process along with the accessibility. Recently, AICTE has commented on NEP as marching towards a new era of professional and technical education. Now, we will have a focus on three particular features of NEP regarding technical education. First of all, it allows students to attain higher technical knowledge in their mother tongue or the regional languages, which is indeed a revolutionary attempt. I'm not telling you that this is a very easy task. No, not at all. this is really a mammoth task. But NEP is accordingly trying, the appropriate authorities trying to implement this, and the central authority has already started discussions with the state authority also. Secondly, NEP announces multidisciplinary studies in technical field. As you know that several IITs have already started online courses on these multidisciplinary studies. In fact, a few months ago, IIT Delhi has already started online course on Upanishads, a scientific approach. See, they are just mixing our ancient knowledge with today's modern scientific approach. This is a nice blending. Various other famous institutions also have started taking initiatives regarding this. For example, architectural history of ancient India is included in the syllabus of some central institutions also. There are certainly steps to learn India and Indian culture coupled with modern infrastructure and technical efficiency. Finally, the third one, close connection or collaboration between industries and educational institutions is also important in NEP. This is significant not only for employment, but also for innovative research and development of the society by at large. I have already come to the conclusion. Definitely, this was a brief discussion on this working paper, and I have already mentioned that NEP is still under processing and the future of technical education in India, because there are lots of words to tell on this theme, which is not at all possible in this short space. So it was a humble attempt to draw a picture of the future of Indian education sector with a glimpse to technical education indeed. And according to Viru, Mr. I'm sorry. According to the various technical experts, NEP will help us to organize the system in such a way that a student of today will become a leader for tomorrow. Because from the student community, tomorrow's leader will come out. Thus, the country will pave the way towards advancement. Today, world is looking at India and the Indians. So we have to take the chance. For this reason, AICTE has already taken steps like NEAT, means National Educational Alliance for Technology, which is promoting high-level online and modern training to the students. Indeed, this NEAT has several other features also, which I am not going to discuss in this short space. Definitely, this is the first step towards the implementation of NEP nationwide. And recently, the Union Budget 2022 has been presented a few months ago. In this budget, allocation in education has been increased, and allocation for AICTE has been certainly increased than the previous year. And another important fact is that you know that a remarkable event will going to happen, because central government will going to establish a digital university in near future, to expand online education for all. So in short, NEP is working to make India as the leader of the world, as well as for sustainable development also. I will conclude this presentation by saying a famous quotation from Swami Vivekananda. He told that education is the manifestation of perfection already in man. And according to various experts, NEP 2020 is going to focus on that direction. Thank you once again. Especially, I would like to convey my cordial thanks to Honorable Principal Sir and Honorable Convener Madam to select this paper for presentation in this prestigious conference. And I'm quite sure that the viewers have enjoyed it and the listeners have enjoyed it. I'm quite sure that this conference will be of grand success. Thanks to all of you, sir and madam. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your nice presentation. It was quite informative too. Audience, if you have any query, please raise your hand or you can write it in chat box. Any question?
Yeah, I think I have one question.
Okay, please continue, sir.
So Vishnu,
Yes,
I
sir,
would
please.
like to ask one thing. Yeah,
Sir,
I
he
would
is
like to ask
Professor
you.
Ramanuj Goswami, sir, actually.
Ramanuj
Okay,
Goswami.
it's Lord Vishnu, so I was I got
It is.
confused. Anyway, Doctor, I just have a question.
Yes, yes.
NEP pros and cons. There are number of deliberations we can find on YouTube. But
Yes, yes.
still, unless it comes onto the ground, we will not be able to know where the
Yes.
loopholes are. So, according to you, what is the most important loophole which needs to be addressed right now with the NEP?
Sir, I have already mentioned it in brief, actually. The main problem regarding education system and where NEP comes from, that is the ignorance regarding Indian culture and Indian society, and which is the basic difference between the earlier NEPs and this one. And this is the main challenge that this NEP 2020 is going to address or going to counter, whatever it be. And when we are talking about the technical education field, then I have already mentioned that the very important aspect that it's going to expand technical education in our mother tongue, that a student can learn technical education, can gain technical education at his or her mother tongue or regional language or whatever be. This is not an easy task. Simultaneously, another important problem, according to my opinion, actually it's not only my opinion, there are several experts' opinion also regarding this, that in a country like India, online education is not accessible still now for all. And we have experienced it. We have lots and lots of experience regarding the pandemic situation, regarding this problem. So we have to counter this seriously. I think other challenges can be solved very easily, but these are the main problems that we must concentrate to solve at any cost.
Yeah, that's right. But what my thing was that what is that one most important thing? So if you talk about the technical education, they have hugely focused on the skill development. Right?
Yes, yes.
Now, the question is, who will impart that skill? Who will impart those skills to the students? Obviously, they may be eyeing upon the teachers
Yes.
who are not at all being trained for this thing. So this will take another 5 to 10 years where the new generation of teachers will come and take it over and impart the skill, because the skill is something which has been focus of the government right from 2014. Still nothing has been done. Still
Yes.
we are at the same level. So this
All-
is the main drawback, in which they are not able to foresee the resources to be used for this thing, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Actually, sir, according to my opinion, I just want to add a few words with your efficient statement. That when we are just announcing or the government is just adopting a new education policy, it will generally take some time for the proper implementation, and after that only we can get the desired result. You are very right, sir, and thank you once again for your kind comments.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think Dr. Shubhashish Banerjee has some question to you. Sir, please.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Professor Ramanuj, I have a question. That
Yes,
is,
sir, please.
is it possible to deliver technical education in regional languages?
Sir, I have already mentioned that, and you have lots and lots of experience regarding
I'm
in
just
teaching
asking this question to you.
and administrative job also. So, and I have already mentioned you that yes, it's a very serious task, and perhaps it's a mammoth task to cope up or to provide education, particularly in fields like medical science or in technical education and
Yes.
something like that. So, in regional languages, for example, I'm talking in Bengali. So there are, I hope there are only 2 or 3 books regarding engineering in Bengali. So this is very serious problem, and particularly this is an initiative for those students only who are not at all so much sophisticated, not from sophisticated background, and not so much efficient in English. Definitely they have to study English and they have to solve their loopholes, because English as a global language, we must learn it, we must communicate in English. But still, this is a provision for them to learn or to gain higher education. Though I am telling once again that this may sound some utopian objective. Still, we are trying our level best, and as our earlier sir told, that it will take some time, perhaps 5 to 10 years more, and then we can get desired results, sir.
So actually, I think it is it's a uphill task, because if you try to study engineering or medical in, say, Bengali, it is, or any other regional, you have to standardize the language. Otherwise, it is very difficult for you to learn, and at the same time, it's very difficult to teach also.
Yes, yes,
Even those who are studying, going for higher education, you need not to be a Shakespeare in English, but at least basic English knowledge you should have. Otherwise, how can you cope up? You cannot.
exactly. Yes, 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 sir.
Anyway, thank you.
Okay, sir. Welcome,
Thank
sir.
Okay, thanks a lot, Professor Ramanuj Goswami, sir. And now I would like to thank the judges, honorable judges, for your precious views and comments. Now I would like to request our honorable session chair, Dr. Krishna Hazra, madam, to kindly wrap up the session. Over to you, madam. Thank you.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible, perfectly audible.
Thank you, Professor Diposha Saha. Before I sum up this session, I would like to thank Professor Shomendranath Basu and Professor Shivdas Bhattacharya for their informative and relevant keynote address. Thank you for your wonderful presentation. Thank you, Gitartha Goswami, Professor Dr. Shantanu Datto, and Professor Raman Goswami for delivering such good and informative lectures on very interesting topics. I hope everybody has got benefited well. Just to sum up, I would like to say few words. The paper titled as Online Mode of Engineering Education During Pandemic, Merits and Demerits, presented by Gitartha Goswami, has really got a merit for discussion. Yes, certainly the recent pandemic created by the coronavirus has thrown our life out of gear in every respect, and so in our mode of teaching and learning. This online mode of imparting education has opened up a new thinking, as is rightly said by Mr. Goswami. It really leaves a lot of scopes for evaluating the pros and cons of online mode. I again thank Mr. Gitartha Goswami for opening up this avenue for larger discussions. The second presentation in this session was by Professor Dr. Shantanu Dotto, titled as Efficient Management of Technical Education Institutions in India. In this beautiful lecture, Professor Datta has successfully presented a case study to highlight the much expected proper implementation of various steps to make the technical education a success story in India in a better way. However, in my opinion, should we give a relook into the way we really are understanding the whole process? Yes, we really need to. I thank Professor Dotto for his great presentation. The third and the last presentation, titled as National Education Policy 2020 and the Prospect of Technical Education in India by Professor Ramanuj Goswami, is a burning topic of the day. The national education policy is now experiencing change and taking a new dimension. I appreciate Professor Goswami's efforts to highlight the change in the policy related to technical education. I thank Professor Goswami for choosing and delivering such an informative lecture. I am also grateful to Professor Dr. Subhashish Banerjee and Professor Dr. Oshini Kumar Sharma for acting as judges in this session and giving their valuable opinion and verdict on the quality and overall relevancy of the papers presented in this session. Finally, I should really thank moderator Professor Deepasri Saha and web host Professor Dr. Abhijit Chakraborty for beautifully conducting this session. And with this, I want to declare this session to be concluded today. Thanks to everyone who are present and given good ear. Thanks.
Thanks. Thank you, madam. Thank you, audience, for your patient hearing. The session is closed now. We will meet tomorrow at 11 a.m. for technical session 2. Till then, be safe and have a good time. Thank you.